Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Bank errors can be amusing, how much money they can accidentally put in your account, how long it takes them to find that. And of course, the people who withdraw it and run off with it, again, makes the news quite often. But sometimes it goes the other way, where they accidentally remove a ton of money from your account. Well, one family checked their bank account to find out they were $99 billion in debt. The result of which is they were distraught. $99 billion. Tim sent me the story of MSN.com. Alice Gibbs wrote it. The family was in shock when they checked their bank balance online and found out there were $99,999,999.22 on their online banking information. Now, 22 cents is what's going to get you. That's the part it's going to put you over. A 19-year-old from Seattle shared the screenshot of the bank balance on Reddit, where it's been quite popular. And alongside the image, she joked, either my bank messed up or I'm going to start making financial adjustments. Digital banking has seen a particular rise in the U.S. in recent years, with around 61% of Americans using the service, a statistic that was predicted to rise to 65% by this year. Now, the question is digital banking. Are they talking about just simply having an account that you can log on and look at? Because that's one of those things where anybody can do that with most banks. And I would urge you to do it. If you have a bank account and you can check it online, you should. And so I've got a couple bank accounts, and I don't get obsessive about it, but periodically I will just double check, log on, and see what's going on. And I discover from doing that, once in a while, oh, I forgot I wrote that check, or oh, that bill got paid. And it's good to know this stuff. So you should take charge of that. But internet banking isn't without its drawbacks, from technical errors and mistakes to exposing secrets. Recently, a woman revealed how she ruined her own engagement surprise after logging into her boyfriend's bank account and seeing that he had made a large purchase at a jewelry store. Well, you shouldn't be checking other people's bank accounts. You check your own. Besides, what if he bought that engagement ring for his girlfriend on the other side, So the mother of this person was the first person to discover the bank account error when she checked the account after the death of her mother. So somebody died in the family, and they're going in to check the account for some reason. My grandmother recently passed away, and our family was broken. Well, I have an account where my grandmother left me money for college. My mom was checking on this when she noticed the negative balance in the billions. So it is actually minus 99,999,999,999.22. She was understandably distraught, as were the rest of us, not as much about the ridiculous error, but that it might result in my losing my opportunity to go to school. So she was concerned about what happened to their money. They realized they're not going to actually have to pay back all of that $99 billion, but wondering if they'll get their own money back. In shock at seeing the huge negative balance, the mom contacted the bank immediately. And fortunately, the bank was incredibly helpful and shared that when you have a joint account with someone who dies, the account is placed on hold. Now, that might be a problem because a lot of people do get joint accounts specifically so they can avoid probate. So you know that if you die and you have an estate that has any value, in many states, they have to run it through the court to see who gets what. And so they'll often tell you, as a way to avoid probate, you put things not in other people's names by themselves, but jointly. So you might buy a car together or a home together. And that way, when somebody passes, they just simply acquire that without it going through a probate. I'm not saying that'll always work. I'm simply saying that is one of the reasons that people do that. And if they're going to freeze the account of anybody who dies, the question is, why are they doing it and how will they unfreeze it? The bank explained that Social Security may reclaim money that was paid after the death, but that can take up to a year. And of course, that assumes that money from Social Security is going into that account. But another story altogether. We are still not entirely sure why that is noted as minus 99,999,999,999.22. And that was the correct number of nines too, believe it or not. As some Redditors mentioned, the 22 cents does definitely seem a bit random. The bank can also generously offered overdraft protection. But the hold was lifted. One commenter wrote, "You may be the poorest person on earth. We should divert all of our welfare programs to help you." "Man, overdraft fees are just out of control," said another reply. "Welp, gotta start somewhere. No more Starbucks for you." The viral Reddit post has helped the family see the funnier side of the ordeal, but the online banking mistake did cause some added stress as well. My mom has really struggled through a lot with the bereavement process and grieving recently, and this just seemed like the cherry on top of it all. I was definitely a little irritated with the bank since they hadn't even really explained what the ridiculous charge was before going through with it. I thought that if anything, we may get a few funny comments that I could read to my mom to make her feel better about everything. Despite the fact her mom does not use Reddit, the woman says that she downloaded the app after the post gained viral attention to keep an eye on it. The best part of that night was watching her face light up as she chose her favorite ones and read them out loud. I think it really made us all feel a little lighter and more validated about everything for sure. Our whole family is very grateful for the support. And I'll tell you right now, this woman has got more faith in the internet than I do. I mentioned recently my mother passed away last summer. And I assure you that there is no way I would ever say, "Hey, Mom, people are making funny comments under a video. Here, just start reading them." Because the way the internet is, sooner or later, you're going to get some people who are going to jump in on the other side just to be contrarians. It happens everywhere. It happens all the time. And I think trying to explain to my mother, oh, by the way, the vast majority of people side with this and think it's funny, but there are always contrarians. And some people go, "Oh, of course there are." No. You are underestimating how contrarian someone can be. So, but it's a funny story, and it does make you wonder. And we've talked recently about other billing errors, and there were two in particular that come to mind very recently, where somebody accidentally took someone's user identification number and put that in the wrong spot. So I believe there was a gigantic tip on a cruise ship recently where there's a customer number for the patron and they wanted to leave a tip for somebody, and the waiter accidentally put their customer number into the tip box. And of course, the customer number was several digits long, longer than the tip was going to be. As a result, these people got charged as if they'd given this waiter this gigantic tip. And it got straightened out eventually, but it caused problems. But the question here is, how does somebody who's freezing an account because someone passed away also accidentally cause it to be overdrawn by almost $100 billion? And yes, I was referencing Dr. Evil. $100 billion almost. 99, 999, 999, 999, and 22 cents. And so did somebody really say, oh, when we lock these accounts up, just put in all nines as a code that the account's locked up for some reason? And if they said that, and they accidentally put that in the wrong box, you might go, oh, I guess that makes sense, But it's a mystery. And so they resolved it, but it's one of those things. When you first see it, it's got to cause your heart to do something, right? But when it's so absurdly out of line with reality, it's not like they're going to go, oh, no, you actually do owe that money. That's not going to happen. Now, if it had simply been $9,999, then you might realize, oh, I may have to go in and argue about something here. So luckily, it was just something the bank said, oh, that was a mistake, we'll take care of it. But it does appear to have somehow coincided with an action that the bank took because someone had passed away. So there you go. But it's a crazy story. Tim sent it, thanks a lot. Family checks their bank account to find out they're overdrawn by $99 billion. And they were briefly distraught. From MSN.com, Alice Gibbs wrote it. Thanks a lot. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Life is a question, and how we live it is our answer.